The Glad video. Let's watch that. The truth that Destiny PvP players don't want to hear. We definitely don't want to hear it. But let me know, Glad. Let's see. What do you got for us today?
People off, but I don't really give a fuck because when have I ever? So I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start with my own experiences. You get really involved into this game, and you have all these ideas about the game, and you have all these things that you wish were different about the game, and you have all these opinions on things and hot takes and constructive criticism, and you know, everybody thinks that they know what the best version of the game is, right?
I know.
What I realized was it didn't matter like how much I would voice my opinion or how much the community would voice their opinion. Bungie had the direction that the game was going to go, and it didn't matter what I thought or what I wanted or what anybody wanted. The game was going in the direction that it wanted to go. So it was pretty much useless to try to control that and just keep hoping. Like, you know, I'd be like, okay, well, maybe it'll, like, you know, maybe things will come back. Maybe those secrets will come back. Maybe this will come back. And I just kept like hoping, and they just never would. You know, Destiny's PvE has always been and will always be a priority of the game, and I know people don't like to hear this.
Don't say that, bro.
I know people don't like to hear this, but Destiny is a PvE game.
Stop right there, Glad. Stop right there. True, but false. Maybe he's gonna explain what I am explaining right now, but true and false. It is a PvE game mainly. I think it's like probably 80% PvE, 20% PvP. But the game would not exist without PvP, and that's what people forget. In Destiny 1, when the game was at its lowest in the year 3 of Destiny 1, and there was no content, the PvP was kind of like, you don't understand the story, the DLCs were like, it was dry. What was there to save Destiny 1 and basically save Destiny franchise? PvP. One game mode in particular, Trials of Osiris. That thing carried Destiny 1 so hard. And after Destiny 2, they tried to keep the PvP and focus on PvP a lot. They did 4v4, they did double primary because that's what the community asked for. They did like a lot of changes, and it didn't work out. And I think they were focusing on PvP a lot in the Destiny 2 launch and not PvE. And they probably realized that PvE was a better solution for them in Destiny 2. So they did a full swap. But their whole like focus was PvP at first in Destiny 2. And I think they realized that with PvE they can make even more money than PvP by just launching DLCs, big trailers. They made more money with the Witch Queen and Lightfall than any other like DLCs or any time in Destiny. So for them it's working. But to say that it's only a PvE game is false in my opinion. Because this game would not exist if PvP wasn't there. Especially right now, Season of the Deep is dry. There's no content in PvE. It's like 50-50 with PvP and PvE. And that's with PvP having zero supports over the years. They did zero updates. They didn't invest a lot of money in PvP. And they're still keeping the same amount of players. That shows that the PvP community is super focused on the game. And that it should at least get a little bit of updates. We're not asking for much. We're asking for a good sandbox that they're having a hard time to provide us. They can't even nerf Immortal. They can't even nerf one weapon nowadays. Like, that's just embarrassing. But we need PvP. That's all I'm saying. All right, let's keep watching. I'm going to keep stopping and, like, giving my opinion because just reacting to the video without saying anything would be boring. So, you guys want to know my perspective because I'm a PvP player. So, you're going to have the PvE players' perspective and mine. So,
with PvP intertwined within it, but it is a PvE game at its core and has
okay, I forgot to. Okay, it is
always been and will always be a PvE game at its core with PvP mixed in, which gives it that cool blend of genres that we all know. You know, if you take away PvP from Destiny, it's not Destiny anymore. Destiny needs the PvP in it.
Yes.
However, it's a fucking PvE game at its core. And people fucking freak out. I've literally seen people freak out about that. But I mean, if you can't fucking see that at this point, then you're fucking lost.
Oh, we see it.
You are so beyond like oblivious to what's going on. So the vibe that has been happening for fucking years and it's always been like this. It's like people want this PvP game to just constantly have all of these, like Destiny. They want this Destiny PvP game to just have all of these focused updates on PvP, and they want it to be the next like competitive PvP game, you know. And it's never been like that. So I don't know where this even came from in the first place. So like fucking years ago, I'm like, all right, like Destiny is definitely more of a.
I feel like that was the mentality that PvP players had a year or two ago, maybe 2 years ago. Nowadays, PvP community doesn't ask for much. We don't want a lot. We just want like the base, like a new map every like DLC at least. Maybe like 3 maps a year. Just something, you know? We're not asking for a Wagyu steak. We just want some rice. We just want to eat something and have something like to fill us up. Right now, we're not getting anything. We got 1 new map in 3 years. I've never seen that. I've been playing video games for like 15, 17 years of my life. I've never seen a game not care that much about PvP. 1 new map in 3 years. That is embarrassing. We had other maps, but they had to remove them. That's what happens with PvP nowadays. We ask for stuff. We don't get the stuff that we asked for, but we're content with the stuff that we get. And after the stuff that we get, unfortunately, is not good enough. So what they do, instead of like updating it, wipe it, remove it, breakdown, new game mode. It needs some tuning. It needs to be like perfected. Nah, Bungie, out. Eruption, rifts, out. Crucible Labs, we're gonna be testing PvP. Like, you guys gonna give us feedback? Out. New map, Citadel, Equinox, Firebase Echo. We don't like those maps. They're too big. Instead of like reducing like the map, like making it smaller, nope, wipe it. Bro, why are we just getting stuff if you're just gonna remove it? It doesn't make sense. Freelance, boom, wipe it. Something new. Oh, Fire Team Base not gonna work. They're gonna change it. Oh, Flawless Pool, boom, out. It's like, bro, they need to tune stuff instead of fully removing it.
Of a PvE game, but okay, I mean, you know, I hope that the PvP gets service, but it's never going to be a priority. They're not just going to drop all the PvE and just balance the game on PvP. Like,
no, they make too much money with PvE.
That's great. I'm not hating on people that do, right? But let's remember where Destiny's focus is here. And then another year goes by, and it's, you know, I'm not happy. PvP does not make me happy. And it's like, dude, this is the same conversation that we had last year. Like, Destiny is a PvE focused game. Like, you're not gonna get what you want out of Destiny's PvP. I'm pretty sure we've made that clear now for like all of Destiny 1 and now a couple years into Destiny 2. And then another year goes by and all I see is PvP, not happy. Why aren't we getting this? We haven't got this. We haven't seen this. And it's like, dog, what fucking year is it now? How many years are we going to go over this? Like, you keep expecting these things from Bungie, and it's very clear that this is not where their attention and their efforts are, and their energy and their money is going towards. Like, their money is going towards.
We just gotta stop on the word money there. That would be like the end of the discussion there. Just the word money. That's just what they want. That's it. Nothing else, bro. And Glad is not bashing PvP. He's just being real. He's just expecting people not to have too much expectation with PvP. And I understand, because we all know PvE makes them the money. And what makes money to Bungie is, it's like they're precious, their baby, you know? And if they keep getting money with PvE, we're still not going to have updates to PvP, for sure. But I don't think Bungie understands that we need the PvP. They need us to make the game like survive. But they know we're still gonna play even though it's bad. That's the issue. We still play
the bigger picture of Destiny, and you know, this is before we knew about Marathon and other things, so it's very clear where their resources are going, right? Destiny doesn't hate the PvP community. It's just Destiny is not a fucking competitive PvP game for like 6 years now, and then another year goes by and another year goes by, and it's just at the point where it's like all these fucking PvP players do. I'm not lumping every PvP player in the entire world. There's tons of people that are making changes, and I respect that, and I appreciate you, and I hope that you find happiness. But overall, the general vibe of Destiny and what the PvP players want is it's just constant disappointment and never getting what they want, and always thinking that there's something around the corner or the next update, or that they're entitled to this or entitled to that, or that this needs to happen, or that Bungie hasn't been servicing them, or what kind of fucking, like, are they even listening?
That's true. But you can't blame the players for that. You gotta blame the company, because they bait us. They pretend like they're gonna give us something when they don't. When they said renewed focus PvP season, remember that. We kept playing the game thinking they were going to make changes because they said so. They said they would focus on a PvP season. It's been, what, 2 years since they said that? I can't find the season where they focus on it. If it's their trial season, they just change like a few things in trials and that's it. So, I don't know.
It's just like all these things that are just fucking made up, that have never ever been a thing in the first place, and they're always unhappy and they're always complaining. Why are you still here? Move on. Like you are so fucking stuck that in this thing that is just going to spin and spin and spin and spin and spin in the same spot.
We stay on the game because there's no other games like Destiny. There's no other games that offer gameplay like Destiny. Even though the gameplay is not like the same as before, with AE being in the game and like hand cannons not being the best, like for me personally, but it's still one of the game where you have the most movements and most freedom and most like build crafting for PvP. It's insane. I've played countless other games, FPS, Valorant, Apex, like Halo and Call of Duty. And there's no other games that offer the same, like it's just really smooth on Destiny. It's just the movement is smooth, the gunplay is smooth, and it's just a fun PvP game.
And it's never
That's why people stay on this game, pretty much. That's it.
Go anywhere. And you're literally just making zero progress, always. And yet you still have the same upsetting, negative, complaining, unhappy vibes that you're just projecting to the entire community, and then it just snowballs, and that's what's happening. It's like this, dude. It's just negative energy, just fucking all the time, and it just gets worse every season and every season and every season, and it's the same fucking conversations all the time. And that's what's happening. And
that's true, though.
It's just what's the word?
What the fuck?
Exhausting, draining, same shit. You know what I mean? And
that I agree with Glad though. We're never really content because we don't get enough. The only time like the PvP community was like satisfied, it was during the 30th anniversary, where the meta was actually pretty fun, and there was no skill-based matchmaking and stuff, I think, and it just felt overall like pretty fun. And after they added Void 3.0 and abilities went to the roof, and like they had to change stuff, and after. But we are always disappointed and like negative though. That's true. It's hard to be positive, to be honest.
And it comes to a point where like if you're one of these people that is just like, if you're in chat right now and you're one of these people and you feel extremely called out and you're like, I mean, that's me, right? I'm not here to make you feel bad. I'm knocking on your skull and I'm saying wake the fuck up, because nothing's gonna change especially now with Marathon, which is I think the biggest reason all of this drama is getting worse is because of Marathon. Marathon made things way worse because now everyone has a cause, right? Now everyone has something to point at. Oh, it's because of this. And you know, it's
now we know that all the resources are going to Marathon, so we know that the game in PvP in Destiny 2 is not going to get better in any way. But what we want is just like the basic stuff, like a sandbox update or two to make the game. Obviously, it's not going to be perfectly balanced, but can we not get SMGs being meta for a year? Can we actually get like nerfs to stuff that have been overpowered for years? As soon as we get that, we're satisfied. We know we're not going to get a new Trials of Osiris or a new Iron Banner. It's over. But we want to keep playing a game where we feel happy to play, even though we're not getting much. That's what I want personally. I know we're not going to get any crazy updates. That's for sure. But Glad is right, though. Glad is right.
And you know what? They're probably fucking right. Which gives you even more reason to move the fuck on. Like, if you're that unhappy season after season with Destiny, then that's your own fucking fault at this point. Like if you're playing Destiny for PvP and you were just that upset season after season, and it is just such a fucking grueling thing that you're just, it's this self-induced at this point because nothing's gonna happen. And if Destiny comes out with a huge fucking PvP revamp,
impossible.
You know, the whole game becomes a PvP focused, I'll eat my words, but I'm telling you right now, that's not gonna fucking happen. So you're gonna keep living in your shitty little unhappy bubble, expecting Destiny PvP to become exactly what you want it to be. It's never gonna become exactly what you want it to be, and you need to move on, and you need to realize this and have some self-awareness and knock on your own fucking fucked up skull, because it's the same shit every year. You know?
It's true though. We don't expect stuff though. I think even in PvE, they need to have the same mentality as us. Thinking Lightfall or not Lightfall, the final shape and all that stuff is gonna change Destiny forever nowadays. I think we can still have a lot of fun with new DLCs, but thinking it's gonna be a crazy new DLC with crazy new raids, better than the old raids, better than Last Wish, better than Forsaken. I've always said it's, if you don't want to be disappointed in this game, you don't want to set your expectation too high, and that's basically what he's explaining. Or what he's saying is that, like, having no expectation, which is extreme, but you need to have low expectation. You can't expect the DLC to be insane like Forsaken. You just need to go in there, play it, not expecting much, having fun while playing it, and you play it for like 2 to 3 weeks, and when it's done, you go play something else in PvE. PvP, like, there's nothing else that compares to Destiny. That's why we keep playing it, bro.
You know,
the gameplay's too nice.
I want to see my friends be happy, man. I want to see my friends be happy, and I just see so many people not happy all the time. It's the same. Brother. It's the same shit. I mean, is it like at some point? Because I see what people are saying, right? People don't want to leave. They're stuck. It's how they're, you know, we're talking like content creators, I guess, right? They're stuck. It's how they're making money. They can't leave. They'll lose their, you know, income. I get what you're saying, but at some point, doesn't there have to be a breaking point? And if you're not at that breaking point after 9 fucking years, like when does that break it? Do you just hate your fucking life for like 15 years and then you retire and you're like, all right, cool, that was fun. I fucking hated all of that. Like at some point there has to be like a point where you make a change. Like what is life without taking risks and making changes? How are you supposed to grow as a person? Like,
true. That's tricky. That's a tricky conversation, like with content creation. Being on one game is way easier than playing other games, you know? Not everyone can swap to another game and do good on every other game. Variety is tough. But myself, and a lot of PvP players, I think we're staying on Destiny, but as soon as something new that comes for PvP, like something new getting released that is actually fun, we might switch. I'm not like removing my options to switch to another game one day. I just haven't found any other games that are good. Every other game is just similar to others. Like they're all BRs. They're all like they have zero movement. Like Valorant is like a really good game, but it doesn't have movement for me. Like it doesn't have the flow that I want to play. And until we get a new PvP game that I can actually make the full switch to, I don't want to like do that. Apex is a really good game. I actually really enjoy Apex, but it's a BR. There's not much you can do in a BR. Like you just drop, kill people. Like as content creator, it's tough to do good on Apex. And Apex, the only people that do good on Apex are the people that do tourneys. But those people have been playing for 3 years. So when you go there, you're not going to be better than them in 2 weeks. Impossible. There's experience on that game. There's skills. And if they've been playing longer than you, it's going to be harder for you to catch up. So, like, I don't know. Apex is not a choice for me now. I'm waiting for a new game. And the new game that we are waiting for now is Marathon. Because Marathon is a Bungie game. A lot of people are Bungie fans. They're Destiny fans, but also Bungie fans. So when Bungie release something, all the Destiny players are pretty much going to play it. So swapping to another game that is from the same company is going to be easier. So right now we just want like decent updates in PvP and just decent Destiny 2 until Marathon, pretty much. It doesn't mean Marathon's going to be good though, but
not everybody can do, even if it's something as simple as just limiting your playtime to like 2 hours a day or a couple hours a week, and then doing other things that make you happy. That could be other games, that could be other hobbies. Like I want people to be happy. That's ultimately what this comes down to. Is I don't like seeing people so upset all the time, and it's so obvious like where this energy is coming from. And a lot of creators have been doing that lately, and it warms my heart to see it. And there's more coming. Like there's a lot more creators and friends of mine that are Destiny mains that are making moves and are doing things. And you just, as a PvE player, you cannot main this game as a hardcore PvE loot grinder. It's just not that type of game anymore. If you're a PvE player, you're playing this game and you're creating your own content. And it's as sad as that is, that's the reality of it from a PvE player. Because once day one raids are done, it's just the same old shit with the same old fucking model and the same old drip feed and the same old bullshit. So essentially you're just creating your own content, or you're doing things that are creating incentive or challenge for yourself. It's just, that's the PvE lifestyle. And if you're,
that is true though. And he says PvE, but it's also the case in PvP. You get in Destiny nowadays for content creators, you get only like 2 to 3 weeks worth of content from Bungie, and the rest is you figure out your own content to provide to your community. That's it. And I feel like with PvE it's even harder than PvP. Like
playing,
and not like you do dungeons, raids, like solo, like 3-man speed run, and after what, you're done. Just nothing else. With PvP, you got like a little bit more like that you can do. You can go get old guns. You can like do old activities, and like trials, challenges. But
Destiny PvE
is like even
that's
harder.
Exactly what you're doing, right? Or you're just an uber collector and you want to collect everything in the entire game, which is going to create more content for you as well. But and then if you're, like I said, you're the PvP player, I think I've already covered that. You're just constantly waiting for these updates that you want that are just never going to happen. Destiny is a great game, wonderful game. It's just a fucking burnout when you try to grind it more than it provides. It's been around for a long time, probably for the more than half of the life of some of you in chat right now. Anybody under the age of 20, Destiny's been around for literally over half of your life.
Damn. I agree with some stuff, but I'm not saying there's no potential with Destiny anymore, but I just want Bungie to like, they just need to do a little bit for us, you know? Not much. We just want a little bit. That's all we need. And yes, Destiny, they can't provide 6 months of content for PvE. They can make updates for PvP every single month. But like, there's stuff that they can make, like they can put more efforts, I feel like. Obviously, they don't want to do that because the numbers, we keep the same numbers season after season while getting less content than we did before, and they're making more money than they did before. So for them, like, it's an absolute joke. Like, they're just milking an infinite cow, like, nonstop. And I understand that. They make more money now than they did before without doing, like, much more. But you have a community of players that have been playing the game for 10 years. Any other video game company would love that. They would do a lot to get that. And you're just not doing much for us anymore? Like, that's kind of weird. You already have 4.2 billion or something. $5 billion. You're making 500 million a year estimates. You can't do like a single thing for the community nowadays? Seems kind of cheap. Obviously, like, it's a company. They want to make money. I completely understand that, but I think you can keep making money by also giving something to the community, you know? And after seeing Astrocross' video, if you tell me that Bungie is not pretty much like 90% there for the money, like, come on. Go watch the video, the Astrocross microtransaction, and you could tell, you know? But yeah. I don't know what to say with this video, though. He's saying stuff that, like, we know all this stuff, pretty much. Covers are up? Oh, nice. But yeah. Okay. That's it. I don't have any more to say. Like, we know, like, we're gonna get disappointed. We love this game. It's like a toxic relationship. It's like a love and hate relationship. Like, it's weird, man, with Destiny. It's a weird game to play, man. It was a good video, if I'm glad, but he went really harsh, you know? Like, really, he went really, like, honest. No, he didn't sugarcoat it, which is why people are, like, a little bit mad, you know? But I completely understand his point of view for sure, though. 100%. He's just being really honest with the community. And some people don't like that because we're just Destiny fans, bro. But I think complaints and negativity towards something is not a bad thing, because it creates changes most of the time, in my opinion. One last thing I want to say, though, I don't mind not getting content at all in PvP. I've been playing this game for a long time. But please, it's one thing to not, like, do updates. It's also another thing to make the game worse. Skill-based matchmaking, airborne effectiveness, pushing casual metas like SMGs, auto rifle, sidearms, like, bro, all this stuff is, like, not good. It doesn't help. The ability spam, the, like, broken weapons, they create those metas on purpose. I think the game would be in a way better spot right now for PvP if AE was fully removed. But Bungie's not gonna step back from that, like, update that they did. I generally think that AE is, like, part of, like, the collapse of, like, PvP. Airborne effectiveness.